Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live to 110 podcast. My name is Wendy Myers of wendymyersdetoxtoxins. And I love to talk about heavy metal toxins and heavy metals themselves, how to remove them from your body. And today's show is no different. We're going to be talking with Michael Jackson, and he owns a company that makes fresh air surround system. It's an amazing technology to detox toxins from your home and kill bacteria in the environment where the air filter is working. I've been using it for a few months and I'm just completely blown away by the results and how much fresher the air and how more palatable and breathable the air is, and how much more enjoyable it is to be in my own personal space after using this air filter. And so I wanted to have Michael on the show to talk about the importance of, cleaning up the indoor environment in your home, how our indoor air is actually more toxic than the air outside, if you can believe that, and a lot of the benefits of his fresh air surround system. And today I want to talk a little bit about the importance of detoxing your body. I created a top 10 tips to detox like a pro checklist. And so these are all the top tips that I've, just distilled down after working with thousands of clients to detox heavy metals from people's bodies. You can download it absolutely free at detoxforenergy.com. So please, if you're interested in learning about detoxification a little bit more in depth, just go to detoxforenergy.com and download my free checklist. Our guest today is Michael Jackson. He began his small business with just $25 in the basement of his apartment that he shared with his wife and 3 small children. And within 1 year of marketing healthy living products, his company Best America was generating 5 times his take-home income that he was earning as a city bus driver in St. Paul, Minneapolis. And it was too expensive to go to work driving a bus, so he ventured out full time. And over the years, his company has generated $1.6 billion in sales, with Sales Power magazine reporting his marketing team the 17th largest in the US. And the Healthy Living Technologies product line was awarded the world's only certified space technology by the NASA's Space Foundation. After 9/11, his company received medals from the US Army for their work to reopen the Pentagon with fresh air cleaning technology. And that's his air filtration system that he offers. And today he serves as president and co-owner of Vollara, which is based in Dallas, Texas. Over 5 million healthy home systems have been purchased around the world. So he has got quite an array of products that we're going to be talking about today on the show, including his fresh air surround system, which is an amazing air purifier. Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's really good to be here, Wendy. Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and how you got into the air filtration business?
Wow, that's a big question. It's been 4 decades, and my wife and I started our business with $25 grocery money in a basement apartment with 3 little kids, and we grew that into something that was built around wellness, worldwide, 22 countries, and just a lot of people whose lives have been helped and changed. And so it's been quite a ride.
Fabulous. I love that. So let's talk about indoor air pollution. And so you have an amazing air filtration unit that helps to clean up indoor air pollution. But why is this such an important topic when it comes to our health? So I think a lot of people don't realize that the air inside your home can be more toxic and full of chemicals than the air outside.
Yeah, according to the EPA, 5 times more toxic than the air out on the freeways there in Los Angeles.
What?
That's kind of a
Wow.
scary thought, right?
That's a very scary thought.
We breathe 23,000 breaths of air every hour. That's over 8 million breaths a year. And the fact is, Wendy, is 90% of our time, we're not spending out by a waterfall. We're not out in the backyard. We're indoors in our office, in our car, or our home, and we're breathing recycled, recirculated air that has a lot of issues. Nature is locked out. Fresh air is locked out. And I just simply ask the question, if air is so important, Wendy, shouldn't it be clean?
So, what kind of toxins are in the toxic air that we breathe? That's in the pollution, or that can be in sick buildings or buildings that have tons of pollution that's in the air that's making people ill?
Yeah, we would like to think that it was those big skyscrapers where you are in Los Angeles or some big city, but the fact of the matter is that we spend 90% of our time indoors in our own home, in our own environment. Do you remember the 1970s oil embargo? People locked up and sealed up their homes. We put in super insulation in our attics, in our walls. We put double pane windows in. And according to the Wall Street Journal, we locked indoor air pollution in with deadly precision. So you ask the question, what is indoor air pollution? What makes up indoor air pollution? Think about things like dust, just standard dust. You see it on your piano, you see it on a countertop, you see it on a window frame. Dust attracts dust mites, and dust mites eat dust. They eat the dead skin, and that causes dust mite feces. Have you ever seen those little sparkly things in a ray of sunshine coming through your window, Wendy?
Yes.
That's not air. Air doesn't have little speckles in it, okay? So we've got dust mites, dust mite feces, we've got household cleaners, pet dander, dead skin, formaldehyde, mold. Wendy, the list goes on. It's an air cocktail. And nothing's more important, listeners, than the air we breathe. If you think about it, we can go without food for up to a month. We can go without water for 3 days. Wendy, how long can you go without breathing a breath of air? 3 minutes, and we're gone. So if air is so incredibly important, maybe we should start thinking about what we're breathing every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people are thinking about their diet, they're thinking about their health, exercising, sleep, but a lot of people aren't really thinking about the air quality and the air that they're breathing. And I definitely, think twice before, walking next to a highway, exercising next to a highway. But the real problem is our indoor air quality. And I understand that your air system, it's called the Fresh Air Surround, is based on NASA technology. Wanting to tell the listeners a little bit about how this works. I've been using the Fresh Air Surround system for the past 3 months. I turn it on every single day, and I love it. I can't tell you how much I've really been enjoying just the quality of the air. I mean, it just gives the air quality. It's such a different quality. And it really makes it feel really fresh, because I've had other air filters that may have like a HEPA filter or other types of filters on them, and it's not the same. It's much, much different. Can you explain to us exactly what it is that makes the air so fresh when it's coming out of your system?
Sure, I can, Wendy. And frankly, the HEPA filter that you're talking about is really, really good if you spend 99% of your time within 3 feet of it.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with traditional filters. Traditional filters only filter about 10% of the air in the house. And that's like going to a restaurant and ordering bottled water, and you get 90% tap water and 10% bottled water, or healthier water, right? That's not what we want. We want 100% clean air. So these strategies were developed in conjunction with NASA research and the University of Wisconsin, of all places, for growing plants originally on the space station. And our company was the very first company to take that technology, which earned us, frankly, a place in the Hall of Fame with NASA. Only 75 companies, Wendy, have ever earned Hall of Fame status for developing technologies that were designed for outer space, but making them available here on Earth. Now, the system uses 5 different strategies, 5 different processes, and it brings 3 main benefits. All right. And would you like me to quickly go through what those benefits that you're experiencing in your home?
Please.
Okay. So the number one benefit is it takes those little speckles that you can see in a ray of sunshine, along with the 99% that you can't see. It's the really small stuff, small micron stuff that's smaller than the human eye can see that you worry about, because that gets down into the lungs, it gets down into the blood system, causes a lot of havoc. So this technology, Wendy, when you turn it on in your house there in California, it takes particles out of the air 200 times faster than gravity, 200 times faster than the normal deposition rate. If it's not in your breathing zone, if it's not in Wendy's breathing zone, it's not getting into her lungs, number one. Number two, you're going to like this. It kills mold, it kills bacteria, it kills viruses, it kills germs, it kills all this nasty stuff like MRSA, staph, stuff like that. It kills it 5 log kill in as little as 6 hours. That means 99.59s in as little as 6 hours. In Wendy, this is really cool. It doesn't just kill it in the air, it kills it on the hard surfaces of your home.
Wow.
And what that stops, it stops nosocomial infections. Wendy, I've had one cold in 10 years, in 10 months. One. Okay? The environment that we live in is vital. In fact, statistics say that over 50% of our physical health or sickness is due to the environments that we live in. Number 3, it gets rid of all bad odors, all bad smells in every single situation. I don't care if it's a skunk or a wet dog or some food that went bad, it gets rid of smells. So it's amazing technology. It's used all over the world, over 5.5 million homes right now and growing, Wendy.
Wow. Yeah, I noticed such a huge difference when you sent it to me and I turned it on. I could not believe how much fresher my environment smelled, because the place I moved into, it's a temporary situation. It has carpet, and the carpet kind of had just not so great a smell. And I was amazed at how much better my environment smelled, my room smelled after turning on the unit. And I've not stopped using it. I love it so much. And I use a lot of different types of air filters. I've always had an air filter probably for the last 15 years. So I've had a lot of different types, and this has been my favorite one that I've used. And so let's talk a little bit about like how this is not really a traditional filter. So what are some of the problems with traditional air filters? Like, so how does the fresh air compare to a traditional filter per se?
So remember, Wendy, we talked about a HEPA filter, which is a very, very good filter. It's really good if you're within a few feet of it. And what they do is they suck, okay? They suck stuff into a filter and they trap it and they leave it there. This is filterless technology. They don't have filters in a fresh air. We have a system that actually, Wendy, sends the solution to the pollution. And let me tell you how I can prove what I just said, that these are so far superior than regular filters. I can take a Petri dish. Okay, I brought a picture for you. I don't know if you can see that or not. On one side, you see the Petri dish for our listeners and viewers, and that is what comes out of a home after the Petri dish sits there for 5 days. On the other side, after we run our technology for about a week and then retest, you can see that that dish is nice and cleaned up. Well, guess what I get if I put my dish into a house with a HEPA filter? I get the same exact thing. It does nothing. Okay? So what this technology does, it takes nature's natural cleaning processes, the same thing that the sun does outdoors, and it sends it out into the environment in your home. It goes to every square inch of your home. Anywhere air goes, this technology goes. And it's killing germs and bacteria and viruses and mold and all that bad stuff. Let me tell you a quick story, Wendy, if I can. 9/11, 2001. Pentagon gets bombed. They call us up. They say, hey, we can't get back into our places of work to protect our country. And we need some of this technology that you guys have manufactured. We sent van loads of technology out there. They put the technology in. Wendy, you know what I get about 2 months later? I get a series of medals from the U.S. government.
Wow.
On the back it says, U.S. Army, 2001 9/11, thank you. And they sent us a letter. They said this stuff was, just like you said, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
what it did inside our environment so we could go back to work. They didn't need filters, Wendy. Filters do nothing except right next to the filter. This is technology that clears the environment in the whole home, cleaning the air, cleaning the surfaces, door handles, railings, computers. Do you know that I believe the number is 3 out of 5 remote controls or telephones have E. coli on them. So we need to not only control the air we breathe, but the environments that we touch, the keyboards, the laptops, the computers. Imagine what's in a hotel room when you go in there and touch that remote control and touch that environment. It's absolutely bad. These technologies, everywhere they go, they make the environment healthier, Wendy.
And what is the square footage that it affects? Say if it's in a large room, how far will it emit the technology to kill all the bacteria?
So they're scalable. The unit that you have handles from 250 square feet up to 3,000 square feet. And you simply change the settings on there. And once again, you can sanitize a bathroom, you can sanitize a closet. I speak for a living, Wendy, like you do. I hit 125 cities a year some years. I can have a brand new suit on, brand new nice shirt, dry cleaners. I get out from under the hot lights after an hour or two on the stage, and my suit needs to go to the dry cleaner again. You know what I do? I take the suit and put it in the closet at the hotel room with my fresh air technology, and in a couple of hours, it's as fresh as new again. There's all kinds of uses for this way beyond just as an air purifier.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. I had no idea that it was killing all the bacteria. I had no idea why. I just knew it was working really, really well, and I could tell a huge difference. But what about chemicals in the home? What can we do to limit our exposure to chemicals with the unit?
Sure. Well, I know you know a lot about that. That's you have built a wonderful following around detoxification and chemicals and all that stuff. And there's so many different ways that our bodies get bombarded with chemicals. People don't think about this, but bottled water, as an example, you know that most of bottled water tested, they find plastic floating in the water.
Yeah.
No kidding. It's unbelievably bad. And you don't want to be, drinking plastic, do you? That's not really good. How about cleaning products that are filled with all sorts of toxic things that they know what they do to people. I forget what it is. I think it's 1,4-dioxin. It's found in most 3/4 of laundry detergent. And there's an absolute proven in parts per billion it causes cancer.
It's in bleach,
So,
chlorine bleach.
yeah, it's all that bad stuff. So think about this. And you might think I'm crazy on this, but the number one thing that creates chemical challenges for the human body from an environmental standpoint, not from what we eat, is the laundry that we wear. Think about this. Every day, I forget the number, 35 billion loads of laundry take place every day. 1,100 start loads of laundry every second. Wendy, it pollutes 16 gallons of water. Every single second, 1,100 times 16 gallons of water, killing the water, making it unusable for plant life or for fish or animals or for people. But here's the real scary thing. When we wash our clothes in these detergents, that stuff stays in the fibers. And like when somebody tries to stop smoking, they put a patch on their neck. That's because the skin absorbs all kinds of stuff. It's the number one breathing organ. When you put clothes on that are soaked in these nasty detergents, it doesn't come out. Just wash your clothes next time with no detergent. The whole machine will fill up with suds because it's still in your clothes. And so there's some really cool 2018 ways to take those chemicals and things out of your life and save a lot of money at the same time. And our company, Bolara, has developed some of them. We call them disruptor technologies. We're disrupting the way Procter & Gamble washes clothes. We're disrupting the way we spend our money. We're disrupting the way that we destroy the environment we live in.
Yeah. Can you talk about some of the ways that you're doing that?
Sure. We manufactured a machine in conjunction with NASA called Laundry Pure. And Wendy, the shirt that I'm wearing right now has never been washed in detergent. It's never been washed in hot water. My wife and I throw our laundry into the washing machine. We turn it on with cold water and we walk away. We've been doing that for over 8 years. It saves $1.50 or so per load, and my clothes are super clean. They smell good, and all the germs and all the nasty stuff, according to the National Sanitation Foundation, have been cleaned up. So, I mean, who would ever thought of it? It sounds too unbelievable, right?
Yes.
Washing clothes with cold water only, but it's absolutely true. And it pays for itself in about a year because of not having to buy those nasty detergents and having the hot water come on. Just some really cool stuff that you can do in this world that, here's what I call it, taking science and nature and joining hands. We take science, instead of disrupting the way humans are supposed to live, we use science to get back to nature, and it's worked very well for us.
Can you talk to me about exactly how the Laundry Pure works? Like, what does that look like? What does the technology look like?
Sure. And I knew you were going to be interested in this, even though it wasn't a part of our what we were going to talk about. It's a little machine that goes on the wall right behind your washing machine, like right above it. And you have a line that comes in from the wall with cold water. It goes to this machine. And then another line comes out of this machine called Laundry Pure, goes to the washing machine. That's it. The rest of your life, you just never buy detergent. You don't buy bleach. You don't buy fabric softener. You don't turn the hot water on for the washing machine. You wash clothes with cold water. It uses technology that was developed, as I said earlier, by NASA for the space station, and we were able to convert that into technology to make our lives better and our lives healthier.
Great. And so your company is called Valara. So what is your company's mission exactly? Like, what are kinds of things else are you doing in your company?
So we have a kind of a motto or a mantra called 360 degrees of wellness. We believe that people were made for more. We believe that people have a higher calling. And so when 360 degrees of wellness gets kicked into somebody's life, number one, we are helping them become healthier from the outside in. Wendy, we don't make people well. We don't take their asthma away. We don't take their allergies or their sinus issues away. But what we do is we make the environment that they live in healthier. And when you make the environment healthier, people that have asthma and allergies and sinus issues, they go crazy. They love it because they can breathe good again. See, clean, healthy, fresh air is not a medicine. It's a right that everybody should have. And so all we do is use nature's natural processes to make the home environment healthier. But 360 degrees of wellness extends to other areas. We're a large employer. We put a lot of people into business all over the world because we think when people are suffering financially, and they're under stress and they're working two jobs and mom and dad hardly see each other, that's not a healthy thing either. So we're kind of the people's business, a business that we can reach out and not give people a handout, but give them a hand up, help people to do better for their lives. Just like I said, I started my little business 39 years ago on 25 bucks. You don't build a business to $1.6 billion in sales with 22 offices in different countries by accident. You do it on purpose. And we have got a good business plan. We have great products. We have good support. And we're glad that you found us. We're glad that we found you. We think it's kind of a pretty good match, Wendy.
Yeah, I do too. I love so I want to talk to you or talk to the audience about some of the other products that you offer around health and wellness. Can you go into some of those?
Well, we manufacture another product called Living Water, and it makes glacier, healthy, fresh water. You know, when water goes through the pipes, I don't want to gross anybody out, but think about this, Wendy. In Los Angeles or in Wisconsin, where I am right now, when water goes down the flush, the toilet, it goes into these pipes and it goes to a water plant somewhere. They pour tons of chemicals in it, and guess where it comes back? To your faucet. It goes back to the bottled water plants. It goes from flush to faucet. Water is being reused over and over and over and over. when those pipes that send the water to your house, they're filled with scum, they're filled with nasty stuff. So there's a lot of issues. We talked about bottled water being filled 90% of them or some number like that with plastic that we're ingesting. We make a water machine that is so close to having a glacier in your backyard. It's unbelievable. Wendy, I've got a pacemaker in my chest. I've got a defibrillator in my chest. I was born with diabetes. I didn't know that for a decade, and I messed up a lot of stuff. But you know what? My oxygen absorption rate is 100%. I feel good all the time. I go around the clock like the Energizer Bunny. And people say, he should have an oxygen tank carrying around with him. But I feel good all the time, and I believe it's absolutely the air I breathe, the water I drink, the things that I do, the chemicals I don't put in my body. It's so aligned with what you do and what you're about, Wendy, in your podcast. So that's why I was pretty excited to be on your podcast today.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to add to our discussion about the fresh air filter?
I think that it's always better to breathe clean air versus dirty air. It's always better to drink clean water versus dirty water. It's always better to be as chemical free as you can versus having all kinds of chemicals in your body. And so it's kind of natural, it's kind of normal. And I'm just thankful that you allowed us to have a platform to tell our story to a bunch more people today. And I hope to be able to be back with you and talk again sometime, Wendy.
Yeah, I talk a lot about, the importance of detoxing the body of heavy metals and, doing my detox program. It's called the Myers Detox Protocol. But within that program, I always give clients recommendations for water filters, and I recommend your air filter as well to clean up the home environment. And there's a lot of different things that you can do to clean up your environment, clean up the toxins that you're ingesting, because you want to, you think about draining the bathtub, an analogy of the bathtub. You want to drain the bathtub, but that's really hard to do if the faucet is always running. If there's toxins always entering your body, it makes it harder to detox and remove them. So really, really important to clean up your home and make that your safe space, your haven, so that you can be as healthy as possible. So I'm really glad that you came on to talk about the fresh air, because I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's the best air filter on the market. I think it's amazing, and I highly, highly recommend it and use it myself. So thanks for coming on the show to explain a little bit more about the technology and how it can benefit people.
My pleasure, Wendy. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yeah, and everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to the Lived 110 podcast. My name is Wendy Myers. You can learn more about me at wendymyersdetoxtoxins. And you can also download my top 10 tips to detox like a pro checklist at detoxforenergy.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again next week.